All right. Welcome, everyone, on this sunny afternoon in end of September, last Friday in September. All right, just checking on everybody's mute situation. All right, here we go. All right. Oh, there. Sorry. Just getting amazed by what my screen is doing. All right. So our next Zoom call is Friday, October 17th, and the topic is to be determined. As always, we've got gift certificates available. If you need a gift for someone or someone needs a gift for you, have them give us a call. Custom meal plans for anyone who's interested in getting a week's worth or a month's worth of, here's your recipe, here's what you're going to eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You just have to shop and cook. But it's got kind of outlines you what you have. It's based on our legal foods list and just balanced again, certain amount of protein, carbs, and fats. Tell your friends about us. You know how well we treat you and how well you did on your programs. We love referrals. If someone that you referred gets on at least a 30-day structured program, we'll reward you for sending them to us and helping them get well. Again, I asked this earlier when we were off camera or off recording, what do you guys want us to talk about? A few months ago, Judy gave us a good topic that we discussed, and we want to make sure that you're happy with what we are bringing to your attention and trying to enlighten and teach everyone something new about health. So if you have something, put it in the chat, send us an email, text John, especially late at night. He loves that. Testimonials, if you haven't written us a testimonial, let's do that. Or better yet, if you're local, even if you're not local, we'll do a video when you come to the office, or if you want to do your own video and send it to us, we'd love to have that so others can see the kind of results that people get here at Alternative Health. And group presentations. No, I'm the shy one. John's the more outgoing. He loves to talk in front of groups. If you have a church, a women's group, a men's group, somewhere that they're interested in learning, we will come to you and do a presentation and help others get well, like we've helped you get well. So if you know of anybody, any areas that need something, or you want to encourage them to have us come and talk, let us know. We'd be happy to do that. Okay.
Especially now that I'm down to one office, I got more time.
And winter's coming and you won't be golfing if there's bad weather. All right. Well, I will turn it over to you.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry.
Yes.
I knew I had something else to talk about. Right here in front of me. So in November, we are going to be at the Natural Living Expo again. Trying to find my picture so I can show this to you guys. Here we go. November 8th and 9th, it's Saturday and Sunday in Marlborough, Mass. We are going to be at booth 604 again, like we have been for the past few years. If you're around that area and you want to get tickets, you can ask me how to get them. We'll send you the link, or just tell your friends. We'll be in Marlborough, Mass on November 8th and 9th. Okay. All right, moving on. Not yet, still have more. We're out of space. So many things. We have a new chocolate meal replacement powder. Okay, it's very similar to the Melise. It's called, the brand is Nova Vita. And they call it Vital Care Nutrient Shake, because we have run out of the Melise chocolate. So this is only in chocolate right now. It's basically the same, same ingredients, same nutrients. It's a meal replacement, 128, 126 calories, the same old 20 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, so
15 servings per.
15 servings for a canister. So if you are missing the Melise whey protein chocolate, we have it now from Nova Vita.
It's someone who took the same ingredients, had the same ingredients, added a little bit of nutrients to it. It's very, very smooth. I think it's a little more smooth even than the Melise, in my opinion, and very tasty. So I was able to get a big order on it, so we have them.
All right.
Okay,
I think I'm done now.
and she says she's a shy one. I'm really the shy one, truth be told. What we're going to talk about tonight, and first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here and spending some time on your Friday evening with us to learn and be educated. We want to talk about health as we do most times, but I just want to kind of talk about some things that maybe we want to reiterate, kind of talk about the basics and stuff like that. So we entitled it, Where Does Health Begin? And in your minds, where does it begin? All of us might have a little bit of difference in that, but we do know where health does not begin. And it doesn't begin in a hospital room. It doesn't begin in a clinic. It doesn't begin there. The reason we're in hospitals and we're in clinics and we're taking antibiotics and all this stuff is because we're not well. The health has betrayed us, or we betrayed health. So we want to talk about where does it begin? And it begins with us. Okay. The thing is that what we want to talk about is our system, our DNA. What is our DNA? And it really begins in our body, but everything is interconnected. Okay. And basically it's through the gut, what they call the gut microbiome, and which is the foundational starting point in our body due to everything that happens as we put stuff in our body: digestion, nutrient absorption, the immune system, etc. But it really goes beyond that. It's more. A lot of times our health includes the social and economic environment. Community resources, education, living conditions, really, really impact how a person's health is obtained or maintained. So basically, it's all these biological things: environmental, social factors, and the process of our mind, our brain, understanding our individual needs, our individual goals, what we want. And that's really where health starts. All disease begins in the gut. And that's been known way back in ancient Greece. Philosopher Hippocrates stated that. And it's true today. It all begins in the gut. It's a complex ecosystem. The gut basically is a vast network of microorganisms that break down food, absorb nutrients, and eliminate waste. So if you think about the gut, it does everything. It brings it in, it processes, and eliminates. And if any of that stuff is not working, then we have a bad system. The immune system connection to it: 70 to 80% of the body's immune cells are located in the gut. So you realize 70 to 80% of all of our immune cells are in the gut. So that tells you that is your primary. That's the engine that runs the vehicle, which is our body. And then the gut-brain axis, which is a strong connection that exists between the gut and the brain, which influences mental health through the gut-brain axis. So when we become gut unhealthy, oftentimes we become mentally unhealthy. And I'm not talking about a mental condition in as much as I'm talking about when people eat bad, a lot of times they'll become short-tempered. They don't think before they speak a lot of times. That's all part of the health system. So in reality, it is our gut DNA. Okay. So that's where it begins. Now, I want to start with this. Some of you have heard this before, but I really like it because I felt that it played a role here. Okay. So you can read it. I'll read it with you. But one evening, a wise Native American chief told his grandson about a battle that goes on inside all people. He said to him, "My son, the battle is between two wolves inside of us all. We all have the two wolves." He said, "One is evil. It is anger, envy, jealousy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, revenge, and regret. The other one is good. It is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith." And being as a youngster would do, they think about things that grandpa is telling him. Then he asks his grandfather, "Which one wins?" The chief simply replied, "The one you feed." And that lies true with health. That lies true with faith. As I'm reading scripture every day, in different parts of the Old Testament, it talks just about having joy and peace and love and hope and all those things, and getting rid of the envy and jealousy and sorrow and regret. It talks about that. So that's what is in our life. That's what's in our body. And that's what happens is, whether it's our health or whether it's our spiritual health or relationships, it's the one that we feed, the one that we constantly feed into our body. And that's what we have to think about as we think about health in this vein. So how easy is it to be healthy? Okay. Now, you might say, well, it's pretty easy if you do the right things. And that is true, but that's true for everything. And again, I go back to scripture because that's something that I really cherish. And in Matthew 7:13 and 14, it states, "For wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it." And as I have been doing this for 26 years, I see this all the time. People work on their wellness for a while, and then all of a sudden they let it go. They get on the right road, but it becomes difficult. It becomes tenuous. It becomes boring, whatever it might be in our mind. We have a tendency to start to slip and slide. But a few people grab a hold and pull themselves back up and stay away from the downfall and the pitfalls. But not, if you look around in society, the great majority of people are not healthy. And that is the whole problem with life in general. It's hard to be good. It's hard to be healthy. It's hard to do a lot of good things. We have to work at it. I had a young lady that came in the other day, and she'd done her program. She did fabulous. She wrote a great testimonial letter. We did a video with her, or I did, but she let herself go through a number of reasons. Job got laid off, different things happened, and I understand. But she came back in. She said her husband told her to get back in here. And when I told her she needed another program, she said, I can't do that. I can't swallow all the supplements. So then I laid out something else for her and said, well, if I have to mix something and drink it, I can't do that. So we always have a reason not to, instead of looking at things and saying, you know what, I have to do the tough thing to get to the point that I want to be. And that's why that road, that gate is narrow and it's hard to get through, because we have to make decisions as to how important is it for me not to be in pain, not to be overweight, not to be whatever it might be in our life that we're trying to get rid of. How hard do I want to work at it? How much do I want to invest in it? If you don't want to work at it or invest it, then it's not going to work. It can't work in anything in your life. Okay. Okay. So I want to talk about how it is to be well. And I'm going to kind of take it to the basics. Okay. First, you have to change your habits. If you change your habits, you will change your life, good or bad. If you have really good habits and you quit living up to those habits, your life will change for the worse. If you're not well and you're not doing the right things and you change those habits, your life will change. Okay. If you're eating bad and you start eating healthy, your life is going to change. It can't be any other way because it is what we put in our body. So we have to address our habits. And how do our habits affect our health? Okay. So discipline leads to habits. Habits leads to consistency, and consistency leads to growth. So habit. What is the definition of a habit? Definition of a habit is an automatic behavior or routine performed with minimal conscious thought. Okay, the practice of performing an action regularly and reliable over time. So the result or outcome of repeated actions is the automation of a behavior by the brain. So if we keep doing the thing over and over and over again, it gets set in our brain, good or bad. Okay. So if you have good habits and you just keep doing the right thing, pretty soon that becomes automatic. If you're doing the wrong thing, that becomes automatic. Example, if you always eat late, and I get this all the time, we have to eat dinner late at night because one of us gets off work late and we want to eat dinner together. Well, that becomes your habit. Okay. So you've resigned to the idea that you have to eat late, even though we know it's not healthy. But we do it because we've convinced ourselves that we have to do it. So that becomes the habit. Now, what happens is, even if you happen to eat earlier, get off work and go get a bite to eat, when you get home and it becomes later, you're going to want to eat because that's the habit. The brain says it is 8 o'clock, 8:30, it's time to eat. And that's what happens. Okay. And as we do it, then it becomes consistent. And then consistency leads to growth, meaning it just becomes, we get better or we get worse, depending on which direction we're happening. So for an example, say you get up every morning and you brush your teeth. All right. If you do it year after year after year, you don't have to decide and say to yourself, oh, I got to go brush my teeth. I forgot to brush my teeth. We don't forget because it's a habit. It becomes automatic because it's consistently been the same. Okay. And we just do it automatically. And even when you don't feel like it. So again, I'll all the things I hear all the time. I'll ask people, tell me how you're doing with your supplements. Oh, I have plenty. Okay. Are you taking them? When I remember, that's because it's not a good habit. You've decided if I happen to think about it, or most times when I don't feel well, then I take them. And that's too late. Okay. That's the medicine mentality. I don't feel well, I got to take a drug or something to make me feel better. When you're healthy, you don't wait until you're sick to eat well or take your nutrients or drink water. You do those things consistently so that you don't get sick. That's the whole idea of staying well. Okay. So I'm going to take it back to the religious aspect. We don't wait until we're on death's bed to say, I think I'm going to create some good habits and quit doing the things I shouldn't have been doing. Because then it's too late. All right, we've done them. It's over. So we have to think about what we do today pays dividends down the road, or what we do today pays what's the opposite of dividends? Okay, negativity. Okay, later on. All right. So that's the way we become good at certain habits, by thinking, I don't feel like taking my supplements tonight. I'm tired, but you know what? It's part of my routine. I have to do it. That's the way we get into good habits and consistency. Okay. So consistency creates habits. And by performing an action consistently, what's going to happen is you're going to create the natural pathways in your brain that makes the behavior automatic. Whether it's taking your supplements, whether it's drinking your water, whether it's eating properly at the right times, whatever. What starts as a conscious effort to be consistent eventually will become an effortless habit. And I oftentimes have people say to me things like, don't you ever forget to take your supplements? No, it never crossed my mind to forget to take them. That's just part of my routine. It's like brushing my teeth in the morning. I don't forget to brush my teeth. I don't forget to shave. I don't forget to take a shower. It's automatic. And habits enforce consistency. Now, once a habit is formed, it makes it so easy to maintain consistency with very little mental effort. And when people tell me I'm so stressed, I just can't do it, that's because it's not a habit. Okay. And we all have habits. Some are good habits, some are bad habits. Okay. Once you start working out, for example, it becomes a daily habit, and it takes less willpower to get up and do it because it's part of your routine, and we start looking forward to the things that make us feel good. Whether it makes us feel good positively or negatively, we look forward to it. Okay. So eating sugar all the time makes you feel good for the moment. You get in the habit of doing it. One time we were talking in class, and I said, one habit I got into, a very bad habit, was every time I got in my car, I wanted to eat something. And the reason was because I would drive from place to place, in my mind, that was the only time I had to eat. So I would grab things and eat it in the car. Okay. And it took a lot of effort to get away from that, because I would get in the car and it was almost like I just needed something, or I needed to stop somewhere and grab something quick. And you know, when you stop and grab something quick, it's not good stuff. It's just not. You don't get that good stuff. Okay. And now consistency sustains habits. When your motivation fades, your commitment to consistency is what prevents us from completely abandoning a habit. This is what allows us to get back on track after setbacks. And we will all have setbacks. I will tell you 100% unequivocally, I've had setbacks. Would you?
Yes.
Okay. But we have to grab ourselves by the bootstraps, pull them up, and say, not doing that. I can't do that. And we do that by looking at ourselves and doing what I call talk to the man in the mirror, and ask yourself some tough questions. Am I doing the right thing? And have I gotten off track? And if so, you go back to your habits, the good habits, and start doing them, rather than make a bad habits and continue that, which will then become consistency, which then will create bad habits, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Okay.
Any questions? Anybody so
So
far?
far.
All right, moving
Okay, the
on.
only way we see results in anything we do is by staying consistent. If somebody has a job and they don't go to work, they're not going to see good results. It's just the way it is. Now, you can see results, it just won't be the result you want. All right. I suppose you
John.
could look at it that way.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Don't they say that between 30 and 45 days is a good measure on how long it takes to set
Yeah, so
a
That is
habit?
correct. minimum 30 days, minimum. Okay, but even after 30 days, if you've been doing something for 10, 15, 20 years, it's very easy to fall back. It doesn't take much of a setback to get yourself where your mind goes back into the wrong or back to the old way you used to do it, because that's the thing your body is so used to in your brain.
Dive in, I want to say that there's a lot more information on sources for buying oysters online as well.
It's gonna be
Okay,
mute.
somebody's got something going. Can you mute, please? Okay, thank you. Okay,
All right.
all right. So a lot of times people think that in order to get healthy, you have to make drastic changes. And in some cases, when we put people on a Candida program for it, it's drastic. I will admit. But most of the time when we go that direction, it's because people are in such bad health, we have to do something to protect them. But mostly it's about small, consistent habits. Example, instead of grabbing a bag of chips, you grab some fruit or some vegetables. Instead of putting whipped cream on your whatever you're going to have for dessert, you change it to something healthier and you get rid of the step by step and take care of yourself. But it's consistent. And you cannot be afraid to tell people that you are changing your way of life. I went on vacation last week and I took all my supplements. I shared a room with a gentleman. We played golf all week, but they said, man, you take a lot of stuff. You, after golf, you're not going to have a drink. No, I'll have water. I'll sit here with you guys and talk and visit. They couldn't understand that. Why you would not indulge. They kept telling me, you're on vacation, have fun, enjoy yourself. But every morning they'd wake up tired, half hungover, etc. And I wasn't. So I was enjoying myself by not doing the things that they were doing, but that is my habit. Okay. I go to bed early. Okay. I would tell them, you know what? I'm going to the room. I'm going to bed. Okay. And they go, it's only 9 o'clock, 9:30. That's okay. For me, that's good. I'm not sitting around here anymore. So it's about small things, consistently taking care of yourself. We have to hydrate. Okay. We have to drink water, good water, because every organ runs on water. And the more water you drink, the more you will crave water. I've told people over and over. I went to the bank today, which is 2.5 miles up. It was 2 miles up the street, I think. But I had to take my water with me. Okay. Only because it's a habit. I have to have that with me. That's my security thing. I don't know what it is, but if I leave, instead of eating in the car, I drink water in the car. Okay. And you have to remember, if you are feeling thirsty, your body has already lost over 1% of its total water amount. Okay. So you don't wait until you're thirsty. Just like you don't have to wait till you're hungry necessarily to have a healthy snack. So you want to just keep that stuff in mind, especially with hydration. Hydrate, drink water right along, all day long.
And when you do feel hungry, drink water
Drink
before
water,
you
yeah.
eat.
Good point. Thank you. Okay. And we want to eat. Again, today I spoke with a woman who said, I just don't eat. Well, that's not healthy. I got so much going on, I can't eat. I'm so stressed, I can't eat. We have to eat, but we have to eat good food. And most of the time we get stressed and we don't eat. When we do eat, we don't eat healthy. We need good essential fatty acids. Okay. It governs the whole body. It helps the cardiovascular, joints, immune system, gastrointestinal health, human brain, the nervous system. Everything runs off of good, healthy fats, not bad fats. Okay, not your junk food. That is not a healthy fat. We're talking nuts and avocados and good seafood and legumes and real butter. Those kind of things are the healthy fats. And to be real honest with you, I don't care what you weigh. I really don't care how much of that stuff you eat, to be honest with you, because it's filling, it's healthy, and it's you're not going to overdo it. We overdo the garbage because it doesn't fill and it has no nutrients, and our body constantly wants more. We have to learn to control stress. Okay. I know this is much easier said than done, but if we stop and think about it, this is called cortisol. And cortisol, high levels of cortisol, destroys the body in all parts of the body, from the brain all the way through the body. So a good rule of thumb is don't think about what can happen in the future, whether it's a month from now, a year from now. It doesn't matter. Because if you go back to real life, I don't know I'm going to be here in a month. Okay, I assume I am, but I don't know that for a fact. So why do I worry? Or a year? I don't know what's going to happen. So we just need to focus on the now. What can I do right now to make my life better? And how can I get closer to where I want to be? So if I just worry about that and not worry about all the stuff that you see on the news and the horrible things that have happened over the past month or so, I can't worry about it. It's sad. I can pray about it. I can do those things, but I can't change it. So there's no sense in me worrying about it at all. What's happened in the past, because that's rear view, what's might happen in the future, that is the future, and nobody has promised the future. Okay? It is the here and now, and take care of the things that I can take care of, and don't worry about the things I can't change. That's the whole thing. If we can't change it, you can't fix it, that you can't worry about it, and you let it go. Love yourself and love the people around you. And that's the only thing we can do. We need to detox. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, 95% of all disease begins in a toxic colon. Now, speaking of that today, Patty sent me a video or reel of this doctor talking about colonoscopies. And I agree with this woman 100%. She's a doctor. She said that before we run out and get colonoscopies, think. Okay. Colonoscopies is something like $200 billion a year industry. It's a moneymaker. It is historic. It's past its time, and there's too many issues that can come up. I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm telling you to think about it. How then, and she talked about colon cancer. How do we know? Well, first thing is, number one, if we eat healthy, take care of our body, get some movement, etc., your chances of colon cancer is diminished immensely. Okay? Because we know that almost every chronic disease is a result of poisons in our body from the intestinal tract. But when we detox, it's a total body cleanse of all parts of the body, the liver, the kidneys, the blood, the tissues, solid waste system, etc. It rests our digestive organs. We highly recommend that we detox our body at least 4 times a year. Again, I do it like 6. So do you.
Mhm,
Almost
yeah.
always do it together. 6 times a year. Okay. And we always feel better. Everybody feels better. Now, the more time that passes between the times you clean your body, the harder it is. So I get people to say, well, it was really hard last time. My first question, how were you treating your body before? Well, it was summertime, we were on vacation, if you abuse yourself, it's going to be harder to clean. If you don't clean your house and you let it go for 6 months and don't do anything, it's harder to clean. There's more to do. So it only stands to reason. We need to rest our digestive organs. Let them slow down so they're not constantly digesting and working. Everything needs a rest, from your intestinal tract to your brain. Everything needs a rest at times. So we need proper nutrition. We need to know, what is our body lacking? Is it digestive enzymes? Do we have parasites? Do we have hormonal issues? And that's why we do the Zytoscan, so we can tell what somebody needs. Now, I also have people that do these scans, get product and never take them. That's because they get in bad habits. Okay. They know they need them. They know they should do them, but they don't, simply because it becomes another task that they have to do. And I just don't have enough time for another task. But you know what? Being well is hard, perhaps, but I'm going to tell you, it's not nearly as hard as being sick. I can tell you, talk to people that are sick, and they will tell you what hard is. The whole goal of your life is to protect yourself so you don't become sick. Giving up some of the things that you don't want to give up necessarily, like certain foods, etc. Sometimes we just have to. It's just the way it is.
Mhm.
We need to exercise. You've got to walk. Now, not everybody's going to go out running, etc., but you can stretch. Everybody can stretch. You can walk around the block slowly. There are things you can do. When somebody tells me they're too tired to exercise, what that tells me is you're not exercising, because exercise gives you energy. So people tell me, I'm too tired to exercise. I don't have enough energy to exercise. But if you start small and continually increase, you will have more energy. The other thing you'll do when you exercise is you will sleep better. Okay. You will sleep better because you're burning off some of the cortisol. You'll open up endorphins from the brain, etc. We need movement. Our body was never designed to sit in a certain place and just stay there. Now, a lot of jobs you have to be there, but we got to get up and move when we're not working. We have to do that. Okay. So movement. What else does movement do? Helps you move stools, helps the intestinal tract, the cardiovascular system, etc. So that's what movement does. That's why it's so important. We have to unplug. Okay. Just like we unplug your phone, we unplug the TV, different things happen, the computers. We have to put them down and let them reset. Our mind is the same way. I'll tell you, those darn cell phones have created a horrible habit that we have. We are on them 24/7. Okay. Because we've got to know what the news is, what's happened, what's going to happen, who did what to whom, etc., etc., etc. Who's saying what, who had what for dinner last night, etc. Everything is posted. Okay. We don't need to know. For those of us who are in the mature age, we didn't have cell phones. How in the heck did we ever survive? We didn't have a phone to know everything. We couldn't be available at the 1 second's notice. And we've all gotten into that, because I've called people and they don't answer their cell, and I go, why don't you answer your cell? Where are you? Right? I'm guilty. But we have to get away from it. We have to rest our mind, reconnect with nature, take a walk.
Exercise.
The other day, Patty had a birthday, which was on Monday. So anybody wants to wish her a happy birthday, you can. Okay. But I called her and her sister out walking. Great. Okay, I was on vacation and needed to ask her something. But I'll be the first to admit, if I call a couple times and she doesn't answer, I think, geez, everything okay? You know, that's how we get our mind going wrong. All right? Be fully present with loved ones. Sometimes when I go to places, a restaurant, for example, and I see 4 people, mom, dad, 2 kids sitting at a table, they all are on their phone, on their own separate phones. Nobody's talking until the food comes. And then even when the food comes, they're still looking at the phone while they're eating.
And that's a bad habit that
Oh,
they've
big time bad
created
habit.
for themselves.
Because you're not being present with the people you want to be with or should be with. Your mind is somewhere else. You might as well go eat with strangers. Okay, just ask if you can sit at the same table because you're not going to talk. Okay, but we got to unplug and disconnect, and it restores our energy. It gets rid of noise. I like that, and plug back into yourself. Okay, love yourself. Sleep. Being well involves sleep. Stick to a schedule. Avoid eating late. Don't drink a lot of water right before bed. Have your water drank early. And have a good, healthy sleeping environment, meaning lack of noise, make it dark, cool, not hot. Okay, the body will rest better if it's cool. And you want to get enough hours sleep. Women need 8 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep. Men need 7 to 8 hours. Yesterday, I had a gentleman in, he just finished a program. We were talking about sleep because I did a scan, showed me his sleep was off. And I said, you need 7 to 8 hours. He said, I get 4 to 5. You're never going to be healthy. You can't be healthy 4 to 5 hours sleep. I don't care how you think your body handles it. You can't. You must get rest. Good, solid rest. Okay. Reprogram the brain, calm the brain and the mind. That's the only way we become healthy.
And if you're on your phone, tablet, computer, right up until bedtime, you're not gonna sleep. Your brain is gonna be going, still absorbing all that stuff that you just scrolled through, and that's not gonna be a good night's rest.
And there's things you can look at. They've done studies where they've had people that are on their cell phones and try to sleep, and how it incites the brain. TV is the same way to a degree.
Yeah.
Okay. It incites the brain so the body doesn't calm down. You need to read or relax or do something that's enjoyable and then go to sleep, rather than keeping something right up until the last minute and shutting it off and trying to sleep. You'll sleep better if you get rid of the electronics. Okay. Life purpose. We all have a life purpose, okay? Continuous renewal is an umbrella term for anything you can do to keep in touch with your values and your life purpose. What is your life purpose? The only person who can answer that is you. What is your life purpose? Do you want to be healthy, or don't you care? Do you want to be kind of healthy and hope that you can do some of the fun things that it seems like everybody else does, and I'm not going to worry about it? I've heard it all. Okay. I've heard, oh, you're only on this world for a certain amount of time. I'm not going to worry about it, et cetera, et cetera. I don't agree with it, but everybody has their own ideas of what they want and what their life purpose is. For me, I want to be healthy. I want to be able to do what I want to do until the day the good Lord says, come home. All right. But the only way that happens is through discipline. Discipline for all those areas we just talked about. Whether it's sleep time, whether it's getting off of social media, whether it's eating, drinking water, etc. Those are all the disciplines that you have to maintain if you want to maintain good health for years and years and years. You can't wait until the body's ready to break down and say, now I want to do it, because it makes it much harder. And again, the older we are, the harder it is. it's the way life works. And we've instilled too many bad habits into our system, and it makes it harder to change as well. Did you have something else?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, for good health and a good life, these are the non-negotiables: detox, sleep, take good, clean supplements. One of my golf buddies that I've gotten on track for the most part, he was running low on enzymes, and he texted me last night some things. He said, I got some things I used to use before, I got on doing with you. And every one of them, the first 2 or 3 ingredients was stuff like a microcrystalline,
Crystalline,
yeah, cellulose. Okay.
sugar.
Yeah. And it's a chemical as well. All right. Eat nutritious foods. 80-20 is a good rule of thumb. 80% what we call legal foods, and 20%, okay, not so legal. Would I rather see 90-10? Of course. But I just know that none of us are going to be 100%. But if you look at 80-20, you're okay. Move your body 30 minutes a day. And when I say you're okay, if you do the other things we're talking about, okay? Move your body, decompress, breathe, stretch, read good stuff that you enjoy to read, drink pure water, and get some sunshine. Okay, get the God-given sunshine that's there for us if we take the time to get out there and enjoy it. Those are the non-negotiables, okay, if you want to be healthy. So we talk about healing, okay? Healing can't come without moving through the fears that seduce us into staying still. We must teach ourselves to find a way through. And in the middle of that circle, I should have put alternative health, because that's what we do. Okay. We help you with the fears and help you to try to overcome the fears that are there. Try to keep you moving forward in all aspects of the health journey. Okay. And help you to learn. Because it's hard to teach yourself certain things. In finding the way through from poor health to good health, from good health to staying in good health, etc. So we have to move through it together as a team. You're not on your own. You don't have to be on your own, because if you try to be on your own, it's much harder. The world is negative. The world is evil in a lot of ways. And it's always trying to pull us the wrong direction. But you got to get with a team that will help you and guide you and have your best interest at hand to take care of you and love you. So this, you've probably seen this from us before, but both Patty and I really like this, okay? Because it's true. Nobody changes until the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. There is pain and change in everything, okay? And I'm going to take it a little bit away from health, but I like to play golf. And Patty will tell you, my golf game, because I would come back and complain about it all the time. My golf game was horrible. I don't know what happened. I just couldn't get on track. Finally, somebody kept telling me, why don't you take a lesson? I don't want to spend money on a lesson. I don't want to do that. I don't need to. Okay. And if I've heard that once, I've heard it a million times as far as health goes. Okay. Finally, because I was going on vacation with these guys and playing golf, I said, I'm going to take a lesson. My golf game changed. Okay. But I had to get in my head. I couldn't do it by myself. And I got tired of playing so bad. So I just had to make the change. And I'm glad I did in that part of my life. Okay. So, but we don't change until that pain becomes greater than the pain of change, whether the pain of change is changing your habits, investing a little bit in yourself, etc. Those are all the pain. Okay. But we have to make a choice which direction and what do we want and what is our focus and our purpose. So, as I mentioned before, health isn't something you're going to find in a doctor's office. Where do we find health? Your kitchen, your habits, and your mindset. It's so easy to complain about everything all the time. Okay? I can complain about everything if I want to. But the more I complain, the worse things get. It's a guarantee. If I keep complaining about my business, my friends, whatever it might be, I'm just trying to think of things, they're going to get worse. And then I get in the habit of doing it. And of course, when we start complaining, we have a tendency to blame everything else but ourselves. And in reality, everything is about us. Okay? It's our kitchen, it's our habit, and it's my mind. So I really can't blame anybody else if I realize that's all about what I have in front of me. But the easier thing is to complain about, oh, I don't know how to shop well enough to get the stuff I need. I can't eat early enough in the day, or if I get home and I haven't eaten, I'm afraid I got to eat. I can't go to bed without eating. You know what? It doesn't matter the mindset. It doesn't matter how I feel. I don't care what I look like. Okay, then perhaps we're never going to get well. But if you master those three things, you don't need prescriptions. You won't need them. But it takes time, and healing doesn't happen overnight. It can't. We don't get sick overnight. We don't get well overnight. It takes time. And the sicker we have been, the worse we treated ourselves and our body, the harder it is to get to where you need to be and get rid of the prescriptions and the sick feeling and the bloating and the inflammation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Complaining gives you a negative mindset too.
Oh, boy.
So
Yes,
that
it
doesn't help.
does. Okay. Okay. So our services, when we have people come in here, we want people to relax. Okay. Ear candling, foot baths, our LED lights, our biocharger for lights again, contour lights. We just implemented that about a month ago. Okay. Our contour light therapy. Some of you've already done it. All right. I will tell you, the LED light there, the contour light helps to break down body fat. Yesterday or the day before, a woman was wearing was in here and was wearing a jacket and said, before I did the lights a few times, this jacket wouldn't go over my hips. And now it does. Okay. And she was pretty happy about that. All right. But it helps to break down the body fat. So, if you're in the area and you can get in here, I know some of you aren't, but try the light therapy. It does work. I've done it maybe 3 or 4 times now. But when you do it, you got 2 days of just eating really, really healthy. So you don't put the bad fats in, so the fat cells will continue to drain. Okay. But it's relaxing. It is relaxing.
Very.
Okay. So I want to mention before we're done, I have a program, and I'm going to throw this out to you again. I talked a little bit about it last month, and basically it's from Systemic, which we've worked with for a while, and it's a 5-month program, but it's very gentle, and it is each month is for a different purpose, but it all accumulates at the end. Okay. So the first month you take about 2 little packets of supplements, one in the morning, one in the evening. And basically this is what we call the Holobiome Roadmap. And it's basically a blueprint of our health where our genes and our microbiome meet, which means your DNA shapes your traits and health tendencies, your microbiome, which is the trillions of microbes in your body that connects to every system in the body. from your gut to your brain and your skin. So all those together create what they call a holobiome roadmap. And that's your unique health fingerprint. So the first month is called Prepare, and it boosts energy and opens detox pathways. Now, with this, you don't necessarily have to do the liquid detox. And this is for people that just don't want to do it. I personally am doing it. Patty is in her second month of doing it, and we are still going to do a liquid detox, but you don't necessarily have to. The first month is to boost energy and open the detox pathways. I would want people eating healthy, of course, because you want to be on the legal foods as at least an 80-20. And the first month is for cellular energy, mitochondrial function, metabolic detoxification. It enhances liver health, drainage of the pathways, and overall detoxification processes, which removes toxins, etc. The supplements are for vitamin D and antioxidants, etc. But you take about 6 capsules twice a day. They're in little packets, morning and evening. The second month is what is called Purify. Is to clear toxins and restore gut health. Okay? And Liz just joined us in here. So that's for metabolic cleansing with antimicrobial and gut stimulating phytochemicals, which utilizes the supplements. And this particular one, you take a packet in the morning and the evening, and then you have what is called a superfood you take once a day. Okay, you just mix a powder. And what does the powder taste like?
It really doesn't has no taste.
Okay,
I've been putting it in my shake.
yeah, do it once a day. The
And then
third,
there's 2 packets or 2 capsules that you take at night for the, on the
Oh,
second
yeah, there's
one,
2 extra
right
capsules at
right
night.
before bed.
Right. The third month is called Promote. It's for immunity and microbiome. It promotes, strengthens the immunity and balances a microbiome, which is also the intestinal tract. So it strengthens the gut immune axis and promotes healthy immune function. It provides prebiotics to nourish the microbiome and support immune balance. It regulates immunity, vitamin D, antioxidants, and reduces brain and eye inflammation, amongst other things. That's the third month. That's got 2 packets of supplements and the powder once a day. The fourth month is called Protect, and that supports brain health and the gut-brain connection. That one is prepares excuse me, neurotropics for I'll get rid of the big words. Promotes calmness and reduces anxiety and manages health and manages a healthy axis for the gut-brain connection. And it also helps with hormones. And the 5th month is called Preserve, which is a maintenance. And that one is to maintain vitality and prevent long-term issues. And it's a comprehensive array of organic vitamins and minerals that forms a foundation of sustainable, proactive wellness. So I have this available for people that need a reset, are not wanting to go on per se a Candida diet where it's 100% do it or not, more an 80-20 program for eating, but you still have to drink water, you still have to eat healthy, you still have to do the right things to your body, okay? Because I get a lot of feedback, I don't like taking all the supplements, I don't like this, I don't like that, et cetera, et cetera. So we researched and found this that can help some people. All you have to do is ask about it or, call in whatever you want if you want to find out more information about it. But we do have it. Okay, we've got 3 or 4 people on it now, right? Okay. Okay.
So get social with us if you're not already,
We just told you to put your phones down, but
I know, right? Liz, since Liz has been back, our social media posts have been great. She's really good at it. I've learned a thing or 2 from her. So we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and then on YouTube is where you'll find all our recorded calls, like tonight's call. Will be on YouTube probably by Tuesday. And then we also have our private Facebook page, which is for clients only. Okay, so you can reach out there to talk to us, questions. We'll be posting while we're detoxing next week. This is where John talked about people posting what they eat. Yes, I occasionally, just to help everybody out. This is what I'm eating tonight. You know, this is my meal. It's healthy. So that's our private Facebook page, where the other ones are public.
And getting back to before, to my staff, I can't be happier, and Liz is sitting right here looking right at me, and Patty's sitting next to me. I can't be happier with the two people that we have, and I'm elated to tell you that when Liz came back, and I'm not saying this because she's sitting here, but I mean it. She has been a godsend. I'm so glad to have her back. Okay. And of course, Patty's been here for 20 plus, 21 almost now, or is it just over 20? Anyways,
I don't know. I don't
yeah.
know. 21?
But
I don't know.
both of these people, I'm going to assure you,
Mhm.
will beyond a shadow of a doubt, are dedicated to you. They love you. They love everybody. There's not a bad word said about anybody. Sometimes I know people say to me, I can't believe you still work with me or whatever. That'll never happen. We will never abandon anybody. I don't care how bad you've fallen off. None of the three of us will ever abandon you. We promise you that. That is something that I personally would never have somebody working for me that would just say, I don't want to work with that person. Okay. Now, do we ever get frustrated? Oh yeah. I'm not gonna, deny that. And then the frustration comes because we want to help. And sometimes it's hard to help when people just won't follow anything. That's where a frustration comes. And it's only because we want to see people get well. In the 26 plus years I've been doing this, I've seen so many people get well that it's a thrilling moment, even to this day, to just see people go through a program, do the right things, and come back with that look on their face of success, happiness, etc. Okay. So when we get frustrated, it's not because of anything that we sometimes feel maybe we're not doing enough for the people that we're trying to help. All right.
Yes.
Patty?
Mhm.
So just understand that. We want to help, we want to be there, and we want to be your guide. We want to be your source of knowledge when it comes to help. So never hesitate to reach out to us or send somebody to us that needs help. Okay.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to throw that out.
So thank you for joining us tonight.
I'm going to open up for questions. Okay.
This has nothing
Sure.
to do with today, but I'm just curious. I had service people here today and I ran out to do something for them and jammed my toe. And it hurts like hell. Should I just ice it? Will repair help with that? Or
Well, repair won't help. Soothe, if you have
like there's
soothe, that
no
would help much
injury,
more.
just
No, if you jammed it, tissue repair cream will not help.
okay.
What you want to use is if you have any soothe or the
I do.
heat or the maintain. Any one of those three, put on it and rub that in 2 or 3 times, and that will help it. That will give you the most help.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Anybody else?
Relief
Have a
too?
Pardon?
Relief too?
Yes, relief will help. If you have relief, yes, take your relief because that's a natural anti-inflammatory.
Okay.
Georgiana and Jane, what part did you come in on?
You're muted.
You're muted. Okay. Unmute. While she's unmuting, who else has a question? A thought? Nobody?
It was a
Who's
lot of
gonna change their,
information today.
who's gonna change their habits tomorrow?
tonight.
Today.
Nice.
Okay,
Good.
Jane, are you having trouble unmuting?
Don't you laugh.
I know, 'cause so I have these two ladies there, I don't. So. Yes, okay. All right, so,
Oh, I got it, John. Sorry
Go
about
ahead.
that. Can you hear me? Yeah, I just wanted to know, and I know you talked about it, but as far as doing the regular detox, if you were to do the 5-month program, did you say you still do the liquids or do you also do the supplements?
okay, if you do the 5-month, you don't necessarily have to do the liquids. Do I
Oh, okay.
recommend detoxing? Yes. But if a person is just not up to detoxing, you can get by without it because it does have detoxification properties in it.
Okay, so you can actually take both sets of supplements on the same day when you're doing the detox then? That
Correct.
won't interfere? Okay,
No,
that's good.
no.
And
Okay.
when does the next detox start again? When do you begin
Monday.
that? Okay,
Monday.
I think I'm going to do it and I'll let you know for sure.
Okay. Let us know.
I will.
Okay.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're gonna do our drawings. If nobody else has any questions, oh, what, there was a note there. What,
That was,
that was Jane,
Jane saying at 3:40.
3:40 or 2 hours. Okay, so 5:40. Are you both there? She's saying yes.
Georgiana's there too. Thumbs up. Okay. Technology, I know, it's hard. Let's start.